Southern Tier community got to enjoy a multicultural extravaganza tonight at Vestal Hills Elementary School, with almost every continent being represented. We got to check out all of these different cultures and dishes, learning more about the overarching goal of this tradition. No expensive plane ticket or waiting hours in a TSA line was needed on Friday, as Vestal Hills Elementary School was turned into a hub for international travel.
We've had this event going from about 15 to 20 years.
Cultural Collage Night is the elementary school's way of sharing different cultures and heritages within the community through traditional clothing, artifacts, and everyone's favorite, some tasty food.
We are such a diverse school. We want to celebrate our culture. And how better than to bring them all together in one evening and have everybody explore.
At Brazil, folks got to taste the treats of a popular harvest festival.
We celebrate this in June. We call Festa Junina. It's like a festival with like a harvest and Thanksgiving. And we have most of the food is with corn, sugar, coconut, and peanuts.
Tunisia was offering both sweet and savory treats.
The tagine here is chicken, potatoes, egg, and cheese. And it's cooked in the oven. We use it usually as an appetizer.
Lots of hours of cooking and planning goes into these traditional dishes, but for the families, it's all worth it if it means sharing a piece of their home.
It's special to us because we share our culture with all the people at school, the families, the kids, the parents, the teachers,
To bring back our traditions and to celebrate with all of the people here. It's really nice.
It also had a lasting impact on those not familiar to these cultures.
So it's really important for me to have my son experience being friends with lots of other kids from different places. It's really mind-blowing to see how much they've done.
The event was hosted by the Vestal Hills Elementary PTA.